My name is Joseph Glynn. I spent most of my life in construction and was working for Airmen and came up with an idea that the Corps of Engineers can't believe nobody else is doing. Derek Lawler's going to present and tell you exactly what we're doing, and he used to teach at West University. He's typically the guy who can take every part and show it on paper. We'll take it from there. Derek?
Hello, I'm Derek Lawler representing RiverWatz, and we have an exciting opportunity here we're talking about. It's the idea of using the natural flow of the river to generate electricity. And it's something that is an old part of our culture, but we're using some new innovations and technology to create a floating platform that can produce electricity. And so we're really excited about this because of the way that it can be implemented. There's lots of facilities and types of clients and customers that would be immediately able to purchase these items. What we're talking about are such things as sewage treatment plants, water facilities, cement plants, even casinos are often located along the rivers. So there's the possibility for having a large number of clients that have a need for constant electricity. And so what we're talking about is an old idea. Again, we're all familiar with the idea of a paddle boat and how that works, but in this case, quite simply, we would be having the river move the paddle in the simplest terms. And we have gone through and the idea is that we would be able to create a device that is adaptable to the flow of the river, can be movable, and uses the natural flow, so it's a renewable source. There's no, again, there's no pollution to it. It's not burning any fossil fuels, and we're using sort of, again, a very clever system of gearing and such to use of natural power. If you've ever been out in the river, you can feel that the force. To stand out there with a piece of plywood, especially in the Mississippi, where you've got 6 knots, 6 miles per hour of river flow at times. It's constant. Also where you have other renewable energy sources such as wind generated and solar, it fluctuates quite a bit, where the pressure of the river is fairly constant. So we've built a prototype. We have a team of some very clever folks, and what we've been able to do is build this model that actually has been able to generate electricity. And the idea is that we are looking for support and investment then to take this to the next phases of engineering, model testing, and development and production of the prototype. And that's where we're at. And we have the ability we have very interested clients that would like to make purchase orders for this. We need to take it to the next step. That we've already proven the concept. The next step is to refine it, and that's where we're at with this. Some of the simple features of it, just again, I think that you naturally understand the concept that the river is a constant source of kinetic energy. Again, these platforms will be floating, secured down to the bedrock. We have a system of doing that, but it's also movable in case of changes to the river water flood conditions. Eco-friendly, doesn't use any fossil fuels, renewable, sustainable power. And then to the client, the benefit is that they're not, with initial capital outlay, we're thinking that these individual units would be somewhere between $900,000 and $2 million to produce and implement per instance. We're talking about there's 2,000 sewage treatment plants along the river. All of a sudden you get a purchase order for even a portion of that. Again, there's other types of clients, cement plants and things like this. So we think that's a very, and then the other thing is that we're talking about sort of the main river systems, but there's river systems throughout the United States. Well, the idea is that once this is in place, that the initial outlay of capital, you're producing energy for as long as the thing lasts. And then the part of what RiverWatz will be doing is providing the service and maintenance for these things. And so it's not just the initial sale of the device, but it's creating an ongoing system for this. And let's see. Again, as we said, there's water treatment facilities with both fresh water and sewage treatment plants. And again, these things are always typically located near a water source and are constantly using electricity. Casinos too, the same thing, they're mandated to be next to rivers. How much electricity do they use? And even if it offsets part of their cost, if they use it for just some of it, and then any excess power that's produced can be sold back. Oh, sorry about this. So what we're looking at is that we've got the initial prototype built. With the next, we'll be spending some time right now getting some of the funding. The next step is to refine some of the engineering and then manufacture a prototype, which we're hoping to have done through the summertime. And then at that point, we'll be ready to, again, scale up with the manufacturing and the sales. And what we're talking about is we're looking for $4 million. We have breakdowns of how that will be spent. There's a small amount of initial money that's spent for setup and engineering and some of this, but then the bulk of that money will be for the actual building of the prototypes and testing. And we'd be looking for that $4 million investment, be willing to give out 7% share equity and ownership of the company. So, and just sort of in conclusion of my portion, again, this is just, I think, it's just a revolutionary idea that can, I hate to be overstated, but could change the world. This is an amazing thing. And not just the United States, I mean, take this worldwide. You know, this is a cool thing. And then, again, it's a simple idea. And we have a working prototype, we have some potential clients, and we think this is a good opportunity. Thank you for your time.